Hey folks, so I am beyond excited to record my first video to officially join the vinyl community here on YouTube. And so I've been lurking and watching other people's vinyl channels and watching them get so much joy from their collection, and to see other people enjoy vinyl is just brings more enjoyment to my vinyl experience. So in this video, just want to say hi and introduce myself and talk about perhaps my inspiration for getting into vinyl. And there's a bit of sun here. It's kind of strange, so I apologize. But I remember watching a video, and I wish I remembered who did the video. I think it's somewhere in my watch history on YouTube. But it was a beginner collector, and she had one of these kind of very costly suitcase record players, right? And so she was talking about the snobbishness in the vinyl community, and there's definitely that too, people who are quite snobbish about it. And she was saying, I'm just starting out. I just want to enjoy my records and find something that allows me to enjoy the records, right? Fine. I totally understand. It's fine. I will say, though, that there is wisdom in what people say, in that, having decent quality equipment to preserve the integrity of your records. I learned this the hard way, folks. I'm going to tell you. I initially bought one of these sort of cheap, all-in-one record players, and so I had that for a while, and I kind of just bought something cheap to sort of see, and gauge, well, what was the level of my investment in this hobby, right? And so after a while, I began to acquire more and more records, and I spent a lot of time listening to music, and so I realized, well, I'm going to have to get something that makes sense. I'll tell you why. Because I learned the hard way. This Marvin Gaye album, I Want You, 76, is my favorite Marvin Gaye album to ever be created, okay? And so I love this album from top to bottom. Anyone who owns this will know what I mean, okay? And so my favorite song, that changes, but my favorite tune of this is All the Way Around on side B, side 2. And because of my cheap all-in-one record player, I nicked this record. And so I can no longer listen to All the Way Around, because it's just skipping and it's just a mess. And so, I keep this to remind me that, don't ever do that again. And so if you're really going to be playing your records and you really want to preserve the integrity of your records, it goes without saying that you should get something that will not damage your records. The fact is that I think with time, these cheaper all-in-ones, these suitcase ones, they're going to destroy your records. I've lived through this, not only with my Marvin Gaye, but my Elton John, Yellow Brick Road. My middle name is Nikita, so I am named after an Elton John song. So Elton John is in my DNA, and so Yellow Brick Road got nicked. And so and the funny part about it is that the thing that got nicked, right, is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. That song got nicked. So, it's just kind of funny, right? So I've learned the hard way. Invest in something that is not going to damage your records. Not saying that there ought to be snobbery. There's no reason for snobbery. But the fact is that you need something to, play your records and preserve them. And you want to really keep your investments protected, because vinyl is an investment. It's not cheap, isn't a cheap hobby. And so there's that. So experience. But I wanted to talk about just a bit, in terms of why vinyl for me. And we've talked a lot in the community about the tactile engagement, having a physical record and what that means, and the enjoyment of taking the record out of the sleeve and putting it down and all of that, and this wonderful tactile sensory engagement that records provide, that's not really available on the more modern digital formats. Yeah, so that's a given. But there is something a bit more spiritual for me, not to get too deep here, but the fact is that music is a connecting bridge. It's a psychic bridge for me. And so what joy it is to listen to music that I enjoy, and I just have always loved older things. I collect antiques, and my musical taste is similarly a bit older. And so I do enjoy what would be considered, more vintage from our perspective here in 2021. And so, there's nothing nicer than listening to your favorite music on the format that it was originally released in. So there's that piece. But music and the ritual of playing a record connects me to um, what I like to think of other portions of myself stationed in time, car passing there, but other portions of myself stationed in time that would have been listening to, my favorite music. So there's a part of me, Tara, that is sitting down in 1960 and is listening to certain music and enjoying that. And that part, is I kind of talk to that part of myself when I am playing my records now. So, not to get too far down the rabbit hole of my, personal, what's the word? I don't know, personal orientation spiritually, but that's it for me. It's very much a spiritual exercise, the ritual of playing a record. It's very intentional for me. It's something I do every day. When I was growing up, I am an only child, so music was the thing that I had, music and books. And so, I'd play my cassettes in my Walkman. Then it became CD, so you had your portable CD player after a while and all of that. And so music has always been something that has been not just a background activity, but something to do. You know what I'm saying? So vinyl puts that intentionality back into listening to music. You have to be committed. You have to go and turn over your record. And so it becomes this whole personal investment of time and attention and intention in terms of listening to music. And I love that. So I typically take out my records at the end of the day, maybe like 4:30. The light is changing. I live in the Caribbean. The light is changing. You get that nice golden, beautiful, soft glowing light, and it just becomes this whole spiritual experience of this kind of reverie, and using music to take me back to these past times, and that hold a lot of nostalgia for me, even though I wasn't alive for them. Well, alive as I know myself. Yes, so there's that. But yeah, so it's a very spiritual thing that it is for me. So I will just show you a couple of my favorite records here, a small sampling of my collection. I have a small collection right now, only about 100 records. So, you can tell that I'm newer, but I also am very selective about what it is that I buy, because I don't have much space. But who cares with vinyl, right? You buy your records and you figure it out later. Yeah. And so, yeah, I definitely will keep on collecting, and my intention is to, I'm thinking about custom building a piece of furniture to store my records in a way that suits my place. But here are a few items from my collection. So I already said my Marvin Gaye, I Want You, my favorite MG, hands down, no question. Coltrane, my favorite thing. So I think I was watching, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was watching Chasing Train, the Coltrane documentary, and I think it was Carlos Santana who was being interviewed, and he said that when he listens to Coltrane, there is this kind of energetic clearing that takes place. And this particular album, My Favorite Things, has that effect on me. I feel like I've moved energy in my system, like I've cleared out this energetic spiritual clearing that takes place. And Coltrane has that. So much to say about Coltrane, obviously, but this, My Favorite Things, is one of my favorite things for sure. And along with that, also, I have Stardust, another Coltrane favorite of mine. So there's that. Love this record. Curtis Mayfield, genius, just a genius, Aquarian type figure, just an absolute genius, and ahead of his time, in my view. Roberta Flack, lots of Roberta Flack in my collection. This one being a more popular one that is more readily known, Killing Me Softly. And then I have a couple of Julie London's, sultry singer who I absolutely adore. And so, you know, 50s, 60s, beautiful, just a sultry, amazing voice. And so those are a few of the, just a small sampling of the records in my collection. So I look forward to being on here, you know, just sharing my love of music with everyone, and you know, talking officially to people and not lurking anymore, and being on here. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of, and it's so wonderful that we can now just connect with people via platforms like these and just share our mutual appreciation for this wonderful medium that is vinyl. So have a great rest of your day and take good care, and looking forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye.